Half-Shell Oyster House offers award-winning cuisine and service. Named TripAdvisor Best Top 10 Small Chains in the United States. Voted Best Seafood in Mississippi Magazine 8 times. You can enjoy award-winning oysters and seafood, delicious steaks, pastas, sandwiches, salads, and so much more in a unique, polished casual dining experience. Half-Shell Oyster House is located at 115 Laurel Park Cove, Suite 105, Flowood, Mississippi 39232. Or you can give them a call at 769-257-7586. And hey, tell them Sonia sent you.
She say sports. She say sports. She say sports. She say sports.
Hey y'all, it's your girl Sonia, and welcome back to She Say Sports. Today I have with me my guys again, as I promised, NFL players Cedric Donaldson and Jameion Spencer. What's up, guys?
Hey, nothing much, man.
How are you, Sonia? Good?
I am well. Just, glad it's football season. I know that. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, so today, keep coming with it today. So today we all wore, we can barely see it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're moving too fast.
So
I thought I had to take off my cape.
Right. We are all showing props to our schools. I believe LSU and Notre Dame.
I believe
LS Boo.
Oh, that's how y'all gonna do tonight? I should have wore a referee shirt because
I can't say a whole lot. We suck this year, so I got to talk about past tense.
Right. So I brought you guys back as promised. I want you guys to come back once a month so we can discuss the NFL during the football season. This is week 1, but before we get started, since we are repping our schools, I wanted us to talk about what's going on at our schools, or at our football teams. We're gonna do it.
Oh yeah, we can do it.
Oh, I thought you were saying no.
I'm saying like ain't nothing good happening at my team.
That's typically what happened when we talk about LSU.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow. Besides the last 3 national championships,
That's okay. Paper champs.
Paper?
Paper champs.
Who said?
We actually probably looking for a new coach about a year after winning the national title, which says a lot about LSU right now. So,
but I mean, what's going on? Have y'all won any games? I mean, what's happening?
Not really. I mean, we got beat by UCLA, which was UCLA. I think was a good team, and they didn't barely beat us. They beat us down. But we got a whole lot of stuff behind the scenes going on, and our head coach is he out there bad, man. And so I hate it. I like the dude, but I think he signed his release papers already. He just floating in the wind right now.
Okay. So, okay. Well, I wish you guys the best.
Yeah, we still the greatest of all time.
Oh,
they are
that's so
great.
Cute. Your frosted flake shirt. Oh. Tony the Tiger. Oh.
That used to be one of my favorite cereals when I was little.
Hey,
but
still
there's too
my
much
favorite.
sugar at my age now. I can't be eating that much sugar. So what's going on with your Irishmen, Jameion?
My Irish are they are looking promising, and then I'm not going to tell you that we're going to go out and win a chip this year, but I can tell you one thing: I'm excited about our defense. I love the way our defense is playing like tomorrow ain't promised to them. So offense still got some work to do. I think we're past that that age of the conservative West Coast underneath shifting, trying to move defenses and taking what they give you, man. You got to go out and be aggressive down the field. And I mean, they got some tools, but I don't know if Reese is going to use them or not. So,
hey, Sonya, I think you're trying to dig at me, man, talking about how good his defense was since they stole the defense coordinator. You know what I mean?
Oh, look how he.
Yeah, man. The defensive coordinator, he interviewed with LSU and gave the coach his word that he was coming. And the next morning called and told him, "Now I'm going to Notre Dame."
Look, Cedric.
Well,
See, you just said that he interviewed at LSU, but he was enlightened when he came to Notre Dame.
Yeah.
See,
Hey,
or was it, as my coach says, must be the money? I mean, was the money involved?
I think he took less money.
Yeah,
Oh,
I think
wow.
it was money.
Yeah.
Okay, well, he really wanted to be with Notre Dame then.
That's
Sorry,
right.
He made the right decision, though, man. When you look at who interviewed him, and if you sat in there and interviewed with that guy and you saw the trajectory of where we was going, then he made the right decision.
Well, right now, my Tigers, and you just said, because that's still kind of, even though you didn't go there, that's, you grew up around here.
Yeah.
Our JSU Tigers are 2-0. We had some, in my eyes, steep competition in Miami. I was there against FAMU at the Orange Blossom Classic. We won that game. It was a nail biter by 1 point, 7-6. We really should have been up probably 24-6. However, we had, Shedeur, he's a rookie freshman quarterback, but he's really outstanding. He had a couple of fumbles. I think it was just jitters, freshman jitters. What you think?
I don't know, man. I don't know about
he looked good though.
Yeah, he looked real good. I don't think it was freshman jitters. I just felt like I think he just got to the point where he was really feeling himself. And
okay, somebody said that. Somebody did, yeah.
He got a little overconfident and started giving away the ball. But I mean, he looked good, man. He
looked good. Thank God for his brother and the defense, because we probably would have lost the game had Shiloh had some huge hits.
Yeah.
Huge. He looks really good.
That's amazing, man, that Dion got two sons, right? And they both show parts of, the good and the bad. Like, Shedeur don't look too fast. Dion, one of the fastest humans to ever grace the earth.
Mm-hmm.
And Dion never hit, and Shiloh coming up like knocking heads off.
Yep.
Knocking heads off. Yep.
Imagine that. They must have got it from their mom.
But see, I said it too. When we were, you said got it from where? Their mama. The Lord. So I said this at the game. I was like, he running slow. I said the same thing. He looked slow to me, but his IQ of the game is, for an 18-year-old, it's astounding.
Yeah.
He's really good, but he did redeem himself in Memphis FAMU. We lead that series against FAMU, and we moved on down to Memphis, TSU, I'm sorry. TSU Tigers, they lead that series with us. However, we won the last two games. We beat them in 2019, 49-14. And I think this weekend, what was like 36-10,
I think.
38-10, something like that.
Something like that. Yeah.
There's so many doggone scores going on in the last few days. But anyway, Shedeur redeemed himself. He had 362 passing yards and two touchdowns. Did he have two?
I think it was two. Yeah.
Touchdowns. And Warren Newman, I love him too. What y'all think about Warren Newman?
Warren's
a good kid, man. He looks
exciting, man.
Like, I love watching him just, bringing the energy the way he does. I mean, it's just like every time he touches it, it's just like you hold your breath because something is going to happen, man. And that is what gets people excited too. That's what I love. So.
Yeah, it was a great game. What also was exciting about this game, it was two Hall of Famers and friends playing against each other, two new HBCU coaches, Coach Sanders, of course, and then we had Coach Eddie George. And I really I'm excited for this because it's not only for HBCUs, but it's for the culture. And just think, when we had this conversation back April 2020, and we were talking about kids coming to HBCUs, and look what's happening. And I know everybody's not going to be able to play at HBCU, but I'm excited about what's happening. I'm excited about when I was in Miami, I was watching, I'm in the suite watching the game, but I'm watching Grambling and TSU play. I'm watching two teams play at the same time. That's never been done before. Black teams, awesome on the NFL Network and ESPN too. That's God. So it was really exciting to watch. It really, really was. But let's move on because we got 17 games to talk about, y'all. 17. So I need y'all. This is how we're gonna do it, so we can cut the time down. Everybody, you both have 2 minutes each, and that's it. 2 minutes. And if you finish sooner, that's fine. But we need to just kind of move it on because there's so many games. And I know he's playing Daddy Daycare tonight.
Daddy Daycare.
Look, Jamie played Daddy Daycare every
day.
Look, you're like, I don't feel sorry for you.
But I told Sonia I'm out in the rain in practice right now. So
that's why we have this beautiful background. Look, here goes talking all nervous on the text. I mean, my wife out of town. I got the I'm like, Jamie been doing it forever.
About to get crazy, man.
Hey, have you fed them?
Yeah, we went to I took them to Mickey D's. They want some Mickey D's, man.
You do better next time, okay?
Yeah. I cooked yesterday, so they go.
Okay. Eat. So you've had them. When did she leave?
She left. She didn't leave this morning, but I knew I wasn't gonna cook today, so I cooked yesterday.
Oh.
So they said they'll eat that tomorrow. We was out, so I tried.
You're doing good.
I tried the lobster place. I tried Cousin's Maine lobsters today.
Oh.
How was that?
They hit me for $20 for 2 pieces of lobster and a piece of toast.
Welcome.
I tried it.
Well, I mean, was it good?
It was pretty good, man. But when you're still hungry after you eat something, you pay $20, man. Like,
it do kind of, it make you want to flip some tables.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree. Well, hey,
it was worth it. I tried it. It was an experience.
And that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Okay. So, we'll start with the Cowboys and the Bucks. Cowboys lost in a very exciting close game, 31-29. Dak was a standout in this game with 43 passing yards and 3 touchdowns. Jamie, and I'm going to start with you because your team won, the Bucks. So what are your thoughts on this game?
As far as the Bucks game or the Cowboys games? Which one we starting with?
Tampa Bay and Cowboys played last Thursday.
Yeah. No, I got you. So
yeah, I mean, just overall.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So overall, I can tell you this much. If I am, and not that I'm a Cowboys fan or anything, but for anybody that's in the Cowboy Nation, I would be extremely excited about watching my team this year. Right. I was very happy to see how comfortable Dak got in the pocket throwing. People around his feet. He didn't look nervous. He didn't look skittish. I think the big real test will be the first time he leaves that pocket and he takes that hit, and then he can get over that whole injury bug as we know it. I'd be excited, man. I mean, you got an arsenal of weapons. Your O-line looked good, even though it's missing some key pieces. Your defense, man, the defense played lights out, I thought. Better than we've ever seen them in the past. So week 1, I would be extremely encouraged by what I saw. And really, I think we saw a preview for the NFC Championship game, to be honest with you.
Okay. Say it.
I said the same thing, man. I was pretty, I'm a lifelong Cowboy fan, so I'm kind of used to the Cowboys being like right there and then just chopping themselves down, So I was happy to see Dak doing what he did. But it's just like it's the same thing like over and over. It's gonna be a holding late in the game by the left tackle, who's an all-star, like one of the best ever. But he's gonna hold at the end of the game, every game. let me see what else. Not managing the clock. You going downfield. You got Tom Brady on the other end, and you still throwing passes once you're in field goal range. I was like, dude, you can't leave this dude 5 seconds on the clock. So the Cowboys they're gonna out talent most teams, but when it comes to like coaching, I feel like that's when they're gonna cough up the cookies every time if the other coach on the other side, which was Brady on this one, has any skill.
So, and you mentioned how they're like right at the cusp and then they lose it. The Cowboys remind me of good times. You remember like when they was almost about to get out the ghetto and James died and something happened. It was something happened. Thelma husband hurt his leg. That's what they remind me of. But let me ask you this, both of you. Has the Cowboys showed other teams how to beat the Tampa Bay Bucks?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't think. I mean, I still say, the Bucks are intriguing in that, they find a way to win, right? I think they've got the personnel on the field that understand the greater picture, right? Like said, they're going to take advantage of your mistakes. And when we get it to Tom Brady, you can't leave him with time on the clock and the game is tight, right? That's the last thing I want to do. I will take 3 straight downs in the middle of the field before I turn the ball over to him with any time left, right? But the Bucks to me, coming off of a Super Bowl win made it look like it's supposed to be. They look like it was scripted for them, right? They almost look like they did it without breaking a sweat. So for the Bucks, they're gonna be something to deal with all year, I think.
Yeah, they are. The only way to beat the Bucks or any team led by Tom Brady is to hit Tom Brady. You got to hit him. And the Cowboys, they didn't sack him at one time. He stayed clean most of the night. So the Cowboys, they got so much talent. They stayed in the game, but you got to understand the Bucks had 3 turnovers. Cowboys had 1?
Yeah.
And they still lost. So
if they had like a minute or 24 seconds or something, they probably could have did something. But that was a really good game.
It was.
It really was. So,
I enjoyed it.
Yeah. So next up is the Bengals win over the Vikings, 27-24. The standout in this game was running back Joe Mixon with 127 rushing yards and 1 touchdown. Ced, you're up.
Hey, man. Joe Mixon was a standout, but Joe Burrow was a catalyst to that. He didn't throw for a ton of yards, but he threw some nice passes to, his receiver, Jamar Chase. I'm a Bengals fan. I'm a Joe Burrow fan. And he could have went to any school, and I would have been his fan because I like quarterbacks with that bravado. For real. Hey, before he came to LSU, I saw a clip on YouTube where he was in the ring as a quarterback, like battling. And I was like, man, how is that guy sitting on the sideline?
Yep.
Wow.
I couldn't believe it. And so when he came to LSU, I was like, what? So, hey, I like the Bengals. I think they're going to do all right. I was kind of scared. He limped to the sideline for a second after getting hit. But I just think it's all the way up from now on with the Bengals.
What you got, Jay?
No, I'm with it. I liked it, again, seeing Joe come off, I have to say I'm a Burrow fan as well, even though he did go to LSU. But I'm like said, I like seeing that warrior come out in QBs, the QBs especially, right? Because that's a position that, we kind of assume that are very fragile, right? So when I see somebody like Phillip Rivers or Bravo, when they get into the game and they're in defensive lineman's face and they're showing no fear, man, that does nothing for me as his teammate, but just want to go even harder. So I think Bengals too have an upside. They're going to have to battle in the AFC, but I think they're equipped to do it. Like I said, Jamar's young. Jamar's got a lot of learning to do, but man, his talent is going to be, I think, one of those that we're going to look at this year and be at that popping point where he's going to be making a lot of plays, especially off of those 5-10 yard, get it to him quick, and then he's going to bust loose at some point.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Next, we have the Chargers 2016 win over Washington. Standout in this game was Chargers quarterback Justin Herbert with 337 passing yards and 1 touchdown. Said, this your brother's team, Washington.
I know, man. Well, love him some. I couldn't believe that, they didn't get their hands on Justin Herbert more than what they did, man. Like, I just thought Washington D-line was just gonna dominate this game, but it didn't happen, man. Like, I don't know what to think. I don't know if Washington had a real bad day or San Diego was just that good. So I'm lost on that one. I need to watch it.
I thought Washington was flat. And like you said, I expected that front four to come out and dominate, right? I expected to see a lot more pressure on Justin than we saw, because I don't really see San Diego's line as being that talented or that aggressive. I just really think they didn't have a lot of opposition, right? So they gave them time. So we're going to see what they end up doing with that defense. I think they need to be kind of a fire lit under them, because they're way too talented to really be subpar the way they showed that week one.
Yeah. And I think another thing, man, if Fitzmagic wouldn't have got hurt, like, I think he breathes a lot of energy into the program or the team. And so when he went down early, I was like, well, maybe it's Fitz going down, that kind of sucked the air out of him or something. But they didn't play with the veracity that I thought they was gonna play with.
Yeah.
So you think their morale was possibly down because of him, or?
Yeah, I mean, that's the only thing I can think, because they got dogs all the way down that D line on.
Yeah.
Too deep. Like, they good. So
I don't know. Maybe I'm gonna start one of those conspiracy theories, and this opens up the door for Cam Newton reuniting with Riverboat Ron now.
Hey, if Riverboat Ron don't take him, it's over for Cam Newton, man.
Yeah. I agree. Up next, we have the Cardinals over the Titans, 38-13. Standout in this game was Cardinals quarterback Kyler Murray with 289 passing yards and 5 touchdowns. Impressive. Jameion?
I'm gonna tell you this much. If I'm Kyler Murray, I'm extremely excited about the possibilities. But as long as I got that man D-Hop sitting out there and I can throw him the ball, I'm gonna take a chance every time and throw it to D-Hop. D-Hop, in my opinion, has found his second, his springboard to his second career, man. It's amazing to watch D-Hop still do the things he's doing as long as he's been in the league, and really making it look easy, right? He is out there schooling folks on, not only his route running, but just what he's doing without the ball, right? I've watched a couple of plays where D-Hop, pretty much had two or three people looking at him, and it was just a basic run play, right? So, he has some influence. He stays healthy and upward. They're going to be a team to watch as well and compete. And and their defense was they were out there scrapping as well. So I was happy. I was happy to see them perform the way that they should.
Said.
It's funny that you spoke of D-Hop, because on the other side, they got this receiver that everybody thinks is, the cheese on the bread, man. And that's Julio Jones. And ever since he's been in Atlanta, I've been telling people, I said, hey, man, Atlanta was disguising Julio Jones for the big numbers that he was getting. They'll put him in the slot, put him in motions. They had to blend him into the offense. You don't have to blend D-Hop into the offense. You put him out there and you say, hey, see ball, get ball.
Yep.
And that's what's happening. So just to hear Mike Vrabel, not coddle Julio Jones and be like, hey, that was a dumb mistake. It was refreshing, man, to see that, because they haven't been on him. So I was happy for Kyler Murray and the Cardinals, man. I like oh man, what's the coach? Kingsbury?
Yeah, Kingsbury, Cliff. Yeah.
So I like the coach. I like Kyler. I like Arizona, man. So it was. I like Tennessee too, though. But it was good to see somebody like whoop up on them, and the coach not coddle his stars.
Mhm.
Yeah. So.
Okay. Next up, the Texans over the Jaguars, 37-21. Standout in this game was Texans quarterback Tyrod Taylor with 291 passing yards and 2 touchdowns. Say it.
I like to say is, man, I'm happy for Tyrod because, he's been all over the place. Houston is a dumpster fire right now, or the Texans or whatever. So, hopefully they can, Tyrod could do something, to help his career out. I didn't even watch much of that game. I just saw the clips. I don't know. I'm disgusted with the Houston franchise right now.
Yeah. As you should, and I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
Jay?
Yeah, so on the flip side of that, when you talk about the Jaguars, I don't know, maybe it was me, but I kind of expected to see a little bit more, right? I know we talked about, the preseason and having, Trevor Lawrence kind of, letting it loose or what he was concerned. But I really thought the handcuffs were kind of still on him for whatever reason, and I'm not sure if that's kind of easing him into this thing. But I really felt like it was the same vanilla offense that we were seeing, right? And I think if they're going to make a splash this season, they're going to have to play down the field. I think and that conservative ball, I don't think their defense can maintain the whole year long like they would want to.
Yeah, I heard the coach. What's his name? Urban Meyer. I heard he's having some trouble, trying to get the team up. Like his method of coaching is not, the players not buying into it. Kind of like how they did Saban in Miami. Yeah. So we'll see. But I was never a believer in Trevor Lawrence. I do want to say that. But
you said that last month.
Yeah, I'm just not a believer in him, man. Like I think he'll be a good quarterback. I don't think he'll be worthy of a number 1 pick. Years down the road. I think that's going to be Mac Jones.
Okay. Next, Seahawks win over the Colts 28-16. Standout is Seahawks Russell Wilson with 254 passing yards and 4 touchdowns. Jameion?
Russell, gold standard, right? I don't know how you can have a discussion about QBs and constantly skip over Russell Wilson, right? He epitomizes again the position. And even in this week 1, I love the way Russell was taking and forcing the issue of his guys. He knows he's got a lot of talent on the field around him. And I think sometimes his guys need to be reminded of that, right? Tyler Lockett has been out there doing it for so many years, right? Continuously, right? And you're not talking about guys who are going to be overly impressive whenever you meet them physically, but you put them on that field and they've got a special magic. And then, and Russell, he dials it up, so, if the Seahawks come back with their traditional rough, tough, physical defense with Russell playing the way he is, that will be the only speed bump I would see Dallas having to go through before they get to that championship game.
Yeah. Hey, man, that'd be rough, too. I'm a Dangerous fan, man. Old Dangerous came out, man. He was slinging that thing all over the field. And it, like you said, with ease, it's like he just, I don't know, man. It's almost like he don't even need to practice. Like he just come out and just do it. I love that, man. And then he's doing it for the little guys. So yeah, I'm always about that.
And he's doing it for his woman. She had on his number too. That dress. Did y'all see that dress award in that gala?
Hey.
Hey, man.
Hey, look, we say that for the prize at home, but it is what it is, right? I was about to put on a dress when I was watching.
Please don't. Please don't ever put on a dress. Jameion, oh my God. Don't do it. Said, I'm sorry I interrupted you. Go ahead.
Hey, I didn't get to,
Oh, there it is.
I didn't get to see the whole game, but my favorite player on that field, that game played for the Colts. Quentin, what's his name? Quentin Nelson, the
Old
guard
line, nasty.
from yeah. Whew. He Notre Dame, right?
You better believe it.
Yeah. Hey, look here, man. We played Notre Dame in a bowl game when he was at Notre Dame, and we had a DN that was built like, like an action figure. And I saw that man pick him up and throw him like a little kid.
Wow.
I've been a fan ever since, man. I'm a lineman at heart. I should have been a lineman. I wasn't big enough.
So you've been a fan ever
I'm a
since
lineman
then.
at heart, man.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
He's a man's man now.
Yeah. So I got to go back and watch that game. And when I watch the Colts, I just watch him. Like the whole game, that's what I'm watching.
Okay. Well, this is one of my favorite games I watched Sunday. The Eagles win over the Falcons. Standout in this match, of course, was my frat, Jalen Hurts, 264 passing yards and 3 touchdowns. Said, you're up.
I was surprised, to be honest,
Really?
Yeah, because I was like, Jalen, his arm has been, in college it was garbage, but it was garbage at Alabama. It got better at Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm. Oklahoma, yeah.
So I was just like, man, the Falcons are going to do better. But they came out and they still the Falcons, man. They can't do nothing right, man. So, they were in, the Eagles are in the Cowboys division. So I watched that game with the sole purpose of watching the Eagles lose because the Cowboys had already lost. Jalen just ruined it for me, man.
Oh, yes, he did. It's just like something he got caught on fire or something. It was just like, whoa. It was a good game.
He's a leader, though. He's a leader. And that's his game. I still don't think his arm is good, but I think his leadership goes up and his arm just goes with his desire to win, like his ability to lead a team.
Yes.
So
yeah, I'd agree. Yeah, he in my opinion, I've always been a Jalen Hurts fan, right? Alabama, I hate to say it, but I cheered for him because of, you can see the aura in how he carries himself, like a Russell Wilson, right? He epitomizes what we want to see in those young men at that position, right? A little bit of warrior, a lot of moxie, a lot of confidence, but not too much of that's going to make you say, oh, he's overly cocky either. So to see him kind of bust out and get his time at this point, I'm excited to see what he's going to do, right? I know he's got a couple of weapons up there, young guys, but I think we're going to see a different side of him that we always thought was there, but we never really got a chance to see it because of the transfer game and everything else in college.
Yeah, I would say this though, in college, when he wasn't having a good game in the national title game, and they took him out, and he cheered like
yes.
Man,
yes.
I super duper respected that dude.
Yes.
Yes. I've been on some teams when we was on a run and our quarterback wasn't playing right, and he didn't take himself out. Like
he stayed in there. And you just like, hey, somebody come hurt this dude. Get him about.
So hey, I'm a Jalen fan, man. I just didn't believe he was gonna have it in him like that, and he did, man.
Well, yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Great game. Up next, Panthers win over the Jets 19-14. Standout in this game was Panthers quarterback Sam Darnold. Oh, I don't like how I spell.
Arnold with a D.
You said what?
Arnold with a D. He a USC dude, so it don't matter.
Darnold, okay. That makes sense. 279 passing yards and 2 touchdowns. Jameion, what you got?
So I'm gonna say this. I mean, this was probably one of the least more of more entertaining games to watch. And it wasn't even the fact that it was a big defensive battle. In my opinion, it was bad football on both sides, right? I was happy to see, Sam Darnold came out, he did his thing, but, it's against the Jets, right? The Jets look so dysfunctional. I mean, the only thing they really did was line up, right? And after that, I mean, I couldn't tell you. Look, I'm one that usually watches the game and try to, figure out coverages and all this other stuff. Look, I saw a bunch of blown coverages and people missing, but out of position. And, I was just like, wow, this is like bad football to watch, and, almost like watching JK and JoJo slapbox against each other, man. It just like was pitiful. It was pitiful.
I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all gotta know his kids. Wait a minute. You said what? What you say?
It's like watching them slapbox with each other. I'm just like, oh my God, Why don't y'all do some math rounds or something? I'll enjoy this a little bit more.
You're so stupid. Oh God. I'm sorry.
I love my babies, but man, they would be
kids.
Look, I love my babies, but they would be hungry if they had box for a living. I promise you.
Those are the biggest, sweetest kids. They are not tough at all.
My babies.
Oh, I love them. I love them so much. Okay. Said, let's talk about your former team, the Jets.
Oh man. Hey, I told you about the Jets last time we talked. Like it hurts me to watch a Jets game, but I said I was gonna watch some of that one, and I did. I wanted to see how Joe Brady was gonna do with Sam Darnold. Now, mind you, Sam Darnold looked like a Jets player when he was with the Jets. He'd get away from the Jets and come to the Panthers. He looked a whole lot better. And the Jets quarterback, number one pick, looked like Sam Darnold last year. It's an organizational thing, man. Like, I don't care who you get QB Jesus to go over and play for the Jets, and he's gonna play like a scrub, man. Like,
Did you
so
say
I don't blame anybody.
QB Jesus?
QB Jesus, man. You know who that is? Hey man, the Jets is a killer, man. Hey, but Sam Darnold, I like him, man. I like Sam Darnold. So with the Panthers. So.
Okay, thank you.
Jesus.
Yeah. QB Jesus is that's Tom Brady, man.
I knew who he was talking
Tom
about.
Brady.
First, I thought you was talking about my savior, and then I said, "Wait a minute."
Nah.
He talking about
QB Jesus, man. That's Tom Brady. He's still walking the earth.
I'm so ready for him to sit down. I don't know what to do.
Me too, man. Lord have mercy.
Oh, next we have the Steelers win over the Bills, 23-16. Standout in this game was linebacker TJ Watt with 2 sacks, 5 quarterback hits, and a tackle for loss. Said you're up.
Hey man, see how much money that man got paid?
He like, I'm for the show, y'all.
Hey man. Being a Cowboys fan, it's hard for me to watch the Steelers. And I'm kind of like a Steelers fan, though. Like, I love the toughness of the Steelers and, how they keep the same coach and all that. I just hate the Steelers. But, I mean, TJ Watt is who he is. And they said that's one of the places where Cam Newton is likely to fall. Sounds about right to me because, like I said, what's the name? Mike Tomlin. Right. He loves to take in the quarterbacks, man. So they're gonna need somebody like Cam Newton because I don't think Ben is gonna make it the whole year. And in order for them to make it do what they do, they're gonna have to have somebody to come off the bench.
Okay, Jay.
Yeah, they this was a good game to me. I liked seeing them. Steelers defense showed up strong. Bills offense. I mean, I like the Bills now. They come out and hold no punches. Sean McDermott keeps those guys wired up. You can tell. And from the very jump, when people come out and play Pittsburgh, you almost have to test them toe to toe first, right? And a lot of times that determines the real tone of the game. But I really felt like Buffalo came out and set the tone early. And it was just a battle. So it was a good game to watch. And both teams, even though, yeah, Pittsburgh came out on top score wise, but I think the Bills are gonna raise a lot of noise. And mid to late season, I don't know if this game is going to be that close. I really see the Bills kind of busting out and separating themselves from the rest of the AFC.
That's what I felt like. The Steelers beat them just off tradition, like knowing how to win, just being the Steelers. And the Bills are young. Once they learn how to win and close out games, yeah, they're gonna be tough.
Interesting. I mean, it's interesting, because I know we got to move on. But when you said about the Steelers, is like a man's team. They've been like that since the 70s or whatever, forever.
Yeah.
What was the quarterback back then?
Terry Bradshaw.
Terry Bradshaw.
Terry. Who did Joe play for?
Joe Montana.
No.
Mean Joe Green.
Yeah, Mean Joe Green.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he played for the Steelers.
Yeah, the Steelers.
Yeah.
They just always just been man's
Oh, yeah.
team.
Yeah, they represent Pittsburgh well, man.
Yeah.
Like, it's,
Very well.
Yeah.
I agree.
So
49ers beat the Lions 41-33. Standout in this game was the 49ers running back Elijah Mitchell with 104 rushing yards and 1 touchdown. Jameion, your thoughts?
So I'm gonna tell you this. I was a little surprised by the 49ers, to be honest with you. Seeing the pieces that they lost, the people that they put in place, I now have to look at Kyle Shanahan a little bit differently, right? I have to look at him and say that, he now becomes part of that, almost that pattern or that system that I'm going to put in place, and we can make this thing function. I thought the 49ers looked crisp on offense, right? We had got ready to see their defense perform, kind of like Washington, looking at their defense, get on the field and put something out there. But I think their offense is the one that took my attention in terms of, where they were, because, you could see big plays happening, and you're talking about like, a step or a timing issue that happens early in the season. But once they iron those kinks out and get some of that stuff taken care of, man, the 49ers are going to be tough.
Yeah.
yeah, and that's hard for me to. It's hard for me to enjoy when you say that, because I hate the 49ers.
Yeah.
But anytime you line Jared Goff up under center and he's your opponent, you got a good chance to win. So Jared Goff, it's just something about him, man. I just don't like him, man. Just at all. And I guess we'll get to the other game with the quarterback that left Detroit and went to the Rams.
California love.
Yeah. Hey man, but it was put it like this. I played with John Lynch in Tampa. I'm happy to see him build that program over there. Like, he's building it. I definitely got respect for Shanahan. A little running back. I love him, man, because he got it from the mud. Nobody expected him to be what he is right now. But anytime you play Detroit, like I need to see another game, because Detroit is kind of like, they're almost like the Jets. They're just a bad franchise, man. They need to combine them and then get another team somewhere else and see if they can do better.
You know what? And just
combine them and put them in Montana.
We need to miss it. Yeah. Then bring on the Mississippi Mudcats.
There you go.
And y'all can be the coaches.
Yeah, I do it. I'll be a scout.
He said Mississippi Mudcats.
I want to be out there in that sun.
You so silly. Next, we have the Broncos win over the Giants, 27-13. Standout with Broncos was Broncos quarterback Terry Bridgewater. I love him, with 264 passing yards and 1 touchdown. Sid?
Hey man, I'm a Bridgewater fan.
Me too.
Like, He's just going everywhere, doing what he's doing, and he's bouncing around. So later in his career, it's gonna look like, he was a journeyman, which most times mean that you're not a real good quarterback. I think he's a real good quarterback. He's just getting locked in these places where they changing coaches, and he has to go with a system fits him. But I like Denver. I think they're gonna be. Yeah, I don't know, man. I think they got the. How can I say it? You got Von Miller, all of them, man. They got a chance to be good. It's just they fell into these couple of years of looking like really bad, and I need to see them dig out of that first before I can give them a full assessment.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Jay.
Yeah, I'm the same. I'm a Teddy fan. I mean, and I know we are we want to see Teddy do some big things. Kind of like Jalen. He doesn't carry a lot, but Teddy carries a level of professionalism. I wish to God he had stayed in New Orleans. I thought that that would have been a big one, but things have worked out the way they have. But for the Broncos, yes, Teddy I think is an excellent fit. I like Drew Lock, to be honest with you. I've always liked Drew Lock. So we know that possibly this is going to be a pass through again for Teddy until we find that permanent home. But like said, that Broncos defense, I think we expected to see a little more. They were flat. They were a little slow, in my opinion. Kind of looked like their feet were in the mud. And I don't know, maybe it's just kind of shaking off some of the early year, stuff that they've got going on, maybe tuning some things in. But they're going to have to play better if they're going to do better. I mean, I know they were playing the Giants and everything like that. The Giants are obviously, rebuilding and retooling. But and there's some work to do on that side. But we got to see the Broncos kind of step it up or something.
Okay, cool. Next, we have the Dolphins and a nail-biter win over the Patriots, 17-16. Standout was Dolphins quarterback Tua. I can't say his last name.
Tagovailoa.
Say it again.
Tagovailoa.
That's cute.
Yep.
With 202 passing yards and 1 touchdown. Jameion, I just call him TT. Jameion, you're up.
TT, yes, TT played. I think TT did what he thought it was going to do.
Mm-hmm.
I know Sid as a Mac Jones fan, I wasn't that impressed. I'm not going to lie to you. I thought he was, okay at best, moving into that role and kind of seeing where he was. I think, I think I look at New England always having that ground game that helps to define that quarterback position a little bit more, right? At least being able to have some versatility from that, those two spots back there, whether it be, James White or whatever the case may be. We've had multiple people back there, and it's been a plug and play position for very long. But I did feel like looking at Sony Michel, he was kind of contained, right? He didn't look comfortable to me. And I'm not sure what that's about, but, hopefully it'll get worked out soon. But, I think on the flip side of it, looking at the upside of what the Miami brought to the table, for me, at least outshadowed, kind of looking at what the Patriots didn't bring to the table.
Yeah. So what being that it was Mac's first game, Cam Newton kind of let some out of the bag that, most people, the center in most places make the calls for the quarterback. Well, with the Patriots offense, the quarterback make the calls on the defense. He got to point out the mic and the strength and so, Cam Newton was like, hey, that's the problem I had with it. You got to come in and you making these calls now. And for Mac to come in as a rookie, start his first game and make the calls and not make any mistakes, he's going, and I mean, he did well, calling out the strength and weaknesses of the defense. So, and then they lost by fumbling the ball on the goal line. So I give him some credit for that. I think he's going to be real good once he, being that the offense is that intricate, they can only put so much on him, in the first game. So, but they say he's a fast learner, and his teammates was praising him, after the game, saying hey man, he did much better than what we thought he was gonna do. Because look at where they came from last year. You know, so I'm intrigued, man. I like Tua. Everybody's trying to trade Tua off, man. I'm like, hey, man, just let the man, you know, let him. He's shown he can do it. You know, you just got to give him confidence. And as long as every time his name come up and you talking about trading for Deshaun Watson, you know, I don't know how much better you want him to get, you know, or you think he can get if you're cutting his legs off the money.
That's true. Up next in this shocker, but it did my heart so much joy. The Saints pulverized the Packers 38-3. Standout was Saints quarterback Jameis Winston with 148 passing yards and 5 touchdowns. Said, make this fun for me, because you know, the Bears, we hate them. And I mean, this game showed you. Now that's the real Jesus, blue eyes. His eyes are like Jesus, Aaron Rodgers. He want out. He want the heck out.
Yeah.
He wants out. Yeah.
Yeah. He disgusted, man.
What you say? He's disgusted.
He disgusted. Hey, but look here. He didn't do anything in the offseason. Any football. Nothing. He wasn't there. So first game.
He wants to be Jeopardy. He wants to be the next host. He's like, I'm done with this.
Hey man, he could be Jameis Winston. Just be prepared. Just like my trainer say all the time. He just said be prepared.
Thinking you about to give us something that's, I was like this. What is he about to say so profound? He said, just be prepared. Okay. He was not
just prepared, man. Hey, look here, man. I love Jameis Winston, man. Like, Jameis is one of the funniest, most cartoonish humans in the world. I went to his camp down here in Birmingham, man. The kid is smart. I mean, he ain't that kid, but he's a smart dude. But he's real goofy. And I want him to succeed so bad in New Orleans, but New Orleans lose because I hate New Orleans. Like, I want Jameis to do well, but I want New Orleans to lose. I don't know how that can happen, but
I don't know how.
Yeah. Y'all figure it out. Let me.
Jay, what you think?
Yeah, I think I'll put it this way. I have a man crush on Aaron Rodgers. Right? Okay, I'm gonna just tell you right now. Ever since he was at California, I have had a man crush on this dude. Right? And I just never understood the enigma behind him. Right? But I think what we're seeing now is just that. It's just the side that probably was more prevalent to a lot of people than we knew, and that is when he turns off. Right? Just as good as he is when he's on, and how really flawless his game can be, and how he gets into it, and you love when he brings his moxie to the table. But when he turns off, I think I saw a meme this weekend where they had him compared to Paul, the guy on the longest yard when Adam Sandler was sitting on the bench. Paul Crew. But I think that's exactly what we see now. We know that this story is not going to end, well for him and for the organization, but I think he's willing to give up his reputation for something he truly believes in. Because, I think when you got a guy like that, you have to listen to what he's saying, right? You have to listen to the things he's asking you. Because I don't think he asked the organization for anything outlandish, right? No. He wasn't asking for piece of steak in the organization. He was just asking, put some pieces around me, put some logical pieces around me that we can win, because I do think he wants to win, right?
And then let me know about it. They were making things happen, and they weren't even telling him. And he's a franchise.
They weren't even telling him, right? And you wouldn't dare do that with any quarterback that you value at that point. Not a Brady, not a Manning, not a he just deserves a little bit more, I think. From the organization, and everybody knows when you change management, you get these new guys in here, it becomes an ego game, right? Everybody has to show you who's boss and who's calling the shots around here, So I think, the Packers could do themselves some favors and go ahead and get rid of this so they can move on with their season, because I don't think at this point there's any mending this thing coming back. So,
well, I'm glad about it. I'm hoping they keep him for the season, and just because he's gonna suck every game. That was amazing to me.
Well, look, I'm gonna tell you this much.
That loss was more amazing than his eyes.
Look, I'll tell you this, and I'm gonna call this right. They may lose a lot of games, but we are going to see him pull off something unbelievable at a certain point in this season. And he is going to remind the world as to why he is who he is, because his ego won't let him just totally ditch it, right? And I think it's going to go for a game, if not 2 games, but we're going to see that guy come out for a little bit. And it may be right at the end, just as his last hurrah, goodbye. But, it's going, I just hope it don't happen when he play your Bears, though.
And thank you. Did you say the Bears?
Yeah.
Yes. As long as it doesn't, do your thing, but not against the Bears. That's all I want. That's all I want. Okay. Next is the Chiefs over the Browns, 33-29. I like the Browns, y'all. Stand out.
I'm a Browns fan.
Wide receiver Tyreek Hill, 11 receptions, 197 yards, and 1 touchdown. Jameion, you're up.
So the Browns, I thought the Browns played well.
They did.
They didn't make a lot of mental mistakes. I mean, they played football. They played fluid football, right? I thought that, some of the transitions that they had, going through some of the progressions of third down. Baker, I love Baker's game. Baker is going to be he's going to be a gunslinger. He's going to pull the trigger whenever you want him, going to pull the trigger when you don't want him to. But I think that's part of what makes them go as well, because, if they start to throttle down and try to play conservative, they lose their momentum, right?
Yep.
And the same kind of rolls with their defense. I mean, they kind of run to the ball, they get around to different places. I think they're going to be a team to deal with for the next 2-3 years. Maybe not so much this year, but they looked very good to me in terms of what they put on the field.
I agree. Sid?
Hey man, D-line, O-line. You got Jadeveon Clowney and what's that other boy name? Myles Garrett as your 2 bookend rushers. Yeah, monsters.
Yeah.
Every week you're not gonna go against a Patrick Mahomes. They had Patrick stumped for a minute. Yep. They were on Patrick Mahomes for a second, but he's one of those Brady's. You give him a couple minutes, he's gonna figure it out. But I can't think of his name. Baker Mayfield. He's one of those quarterbacks we just said you'll run through a wall for, because if it was a team fight, he's not gonna be the quarterback in the back of the pile. Saying, all right, y'all go fight. He's gonna lead it. So I like the Browns, man. I know Kansas City won this game, and whoever is going through the AFC is gonna have to go through Kansas City. But with those 2 2 end rushers and that offensive line and the run game, I just think they're gonna get better and better. And I didn't see a whole lot of the game because I was switching back and forth. But what did my boy from LSU, I forgot his name, Odell do?
Odell?
Yeah.
He was okay. I mean, he didn't do a whole lot. I mean, he had some presence in there, but I didn't really, see him. He wasn't a real big focal point, for the most part. I mean, Baker was putting it all over the place, so he was spreading it well. Yeah.
As long as they do that, man, I think he's gonna be good. As long as he don't start focusing on Odell and get the ball to Jarvis Landry and everybody else, I'm almost willing to bet that, because Kansas City still has, they still got O-line problems.
Yeah. And running back. Running back. Because, that was the one thing I was going to say is that, really, as much as we want to believe Kansas City is that team, I think that they're going to be stifled by their running game. They got to get somebody to step up. I mean, we know, our guy is still having ankle issues, and, he may not be right till, mid to late season. Yeah. And they're going to have to get, 2 or 3 guys to probably supplement some level of production back there in their running back spot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, this was a sad one for me. The Rams, hush, Jamie. The Rams beat my Bears 34-14. Look how I'm talking.
Yeah,
Standout was Rams quarterback Matthew Stafford with 321 passing yards and 3 touchdowns. Our defense sucked. And with 1 year, when the first year coordinator, Sean, to say that should be our strength, correct? Said this was your team. Tell me what's going on.
I mean, yeah, it should. No, I mean, it could be a strength, but man, you got Matthew Stafford, one of the best arms in the game. Finally out of that hole called Detroit. He's so happy, man. He was slinging that thing all over. He was throwing that thing all over the place, man. And I was going for the Bears, but I found myself cheering for Matthew Stafford, man.
What?
So it was weird. I had to. I couldn't even watch the whole game.
It was weird.
It
You
was.
played
It
for
was
the
weird
Bears.
me
I
out.
need you to get it together.
I know. Hey, man. I wanted the Bears to win, but Matthew Stafford was. When you see somebody finally having success, when you know they've been held down, do you know he's the only one that they've let out of Detroit? Like every other big Detroit star, they hold you there until you retire. They won't trade you, they won't do anything with you. Kelvin Johnson, Barry Sanders.
Barry, yep.
Yeah, you can just name them. So he's the only one that they let out of that hole, and I'm just proud of him, man. So I'll start back cheering for the Bears next week.
Why do you think, and Jamie, I'm going to get to you, and both of y'all can answer this. Why do you think they're not, I know just that he's a first round quarterback. Why aren't they playing him? Why are they playing Dalton? I can't stand him. Why?
So I'm gonna tell you this. So I'm not anti-Dalton. I like Andy Dalton, right? I've always liked him as a gunslinger, right? In the right offense. I think he got comfortable to the point in Cincinnati he became ineffective. Okay. Yeah. I still think he has some good QB years in him. And I think the Bears right now need a veteran in that huddle to help define some cultural things that you do miss with some things happening there, right? If you look, I think Justin Fields, although would bring an element that they would need from a boost perspective, and maybe the idea is let him get to about mid-season and then get that jolt into that offense. Because right now, what I saw in the preseason, even when Justin played, was not a fluid or a smooth offense. Justin played well, but there was no rhythm behind what they were doing, right? And offense requires rhythm. I mean, I'm talking about, to the call, to the huddle, to the line, snap, read, right? It's a rhythm that a lot of offenses get into. And I think Andy is going to help kind of define that early on.
And I can see that. However, other rookie quarterbacks played, and they weren't good either. I mean, he got to get out there. When is he going to play? When is he going to start?
It's all about I think it's all about your coaches. Like how much cash do your coach have in the bank with the organization?
Yeah.
And so, like, if you stable and you're not about to lose your job, but this coach in Chicago, he's not stable, man. So he's trying to get the for sure, and it might still backfire on him,
Okay. I can understand that. Last but not least, the Raiders win over the Ravens 33-27. That was a good game. Standout, really, for the most part, a lot of the games were really good this first week, I must say. Standout was Raiders quarterback Derek Carr with 435 passing yards and 2 touchdowns. Do you think those 2 fumbles by Lamar cost them the game, Jameion?
No. I think that they were easily recoverable, not the fumbles themselves, but at least the situation and the time. I think they had time to recover from those fumbles. I think what we underestimated was kind of what we saw with Gruden. He is starting to put a product on the field that kind of defines the persona he wants to be. When we talk about Chucky, the hunger, the scrappiness, the do or die. If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying type mentality, right? I saw the Raiders play like we haven't seen them play in some years, and that is with a level of urgency and excitement, right? I think, some of the stuff, going into even, the overtime, him taking the gamble and running the way they were, when you thought that he was just going to lay up for the, 10 yards to get them back within field goal range, that's part of what you see those guys and those organizations that play under him do. And, so for the most part, Lamar and the Baltimore Ravens, as much as I want to, believe that, hey, these guys are going to be right where they need to be, I think they're going to have to get Lamar some help in the backfield. Losing those 3 running backs instantly for them, I think hurt a lot because it didn't give them any balance on offense. So those fumbles are a result, I think, of Lamar kind of getting tense, not as relaxed as his game normally is. And then you make mistakes, right?
He needs to be protected. Yeah, he needs some help.
Yep.
Go ahead, Sid.
Yeah, man, you can't have they really didn't have any run game last night. The cat that was back there, he did well for who he was, stepping into it, but it just wasn't enough, man. And it seemed like they were struggling like all game. Because they had a couple of times they could have put the game away. Yep. And then it just something happened or whatever. I told I forgot who I was talking to last night, but I told him, I said, man, that was nothing but the spirit of Al coming back, and he had to put on the show. Yeah. Al had to put on the show first night in the stadium, man. You know what I mean?
Hey, they got the monogram of him walking around in the stadium, so the hologram was probably real.
I know, man. I was saying he had to come back, put on the show, because you couldn't have scripted that. That was pure made for TV gold last night. You come down to the end, you lose the ball, you think it's over, then they fumble and give it back to you. You drive down, look like you're about to go for a field goal, and they just toss it up and for the touchdown to end the game, man. It was awesome, man. Yep. It was awesome. I can't wait to go to a game in the stadium. And I have no love for the Raiders, and I hate John Gruden, but I'm going to the game.
that will be, I'm like you. I'm not a Raiders fan, but I do want to go to that stadium.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's very, very nice. Well,
I was kind of cheering for them last night, though.
You was cheering for them last night, the Raiders?
Kind of, sort of. You don't want a team to lose the first game, and and we don't know how Vegas gonna be. They start losing games, that stadium might grow dust like real fast. Nobody
flip it up.
Yeah, that's true, because they doing a lot of gambling for sure. For sure. Well, week 1 was pretty exciting. I'm looking forward to the season. What are your top 5 teams in week 1, Jameion?
Top 5. You got to go Tampa Bay. They look rock solid. I think you got to put Dallas up there, even though they lost to Tampa, but I thought they really brought a lot of zeal. Seattle looked good to me. Pittsburgh looks strong. Definitely will be a contender, and even though they lost, I'm still a Buffalo believer. So I think Buffalo will be up there for my number 5.
Say it.
Yeah, I would go Tampa for sure. Dallas already lost the right tackle to substance abuse. Substance.
Yeah, I saw that the other day.
Yeah. So I don't know if I put Dallas in there right now. I put Kansas City. I like Buffalo, even though they lost, but they lost a good one to Pittsburgh. By the end of the season, I think Buffalo is going to be a better team than Pittsburgh. And I gotta put the Patriots in there, man. The Patriots are, I think by the 4th or 5th game they're gonna be all right. It surprised me to see them do as well, because I think Miami got a good team too. And who's? Oh yeah, San Diego, man. Just the quarterback in San Diego, man. I just think he's gonna be able to do a whole lot, man. Justin Herbert.
Okay, cool beans. Well, before y'all go, we got to play my game. You can give it this or you can give it that. And this is just to let the listeners and the listeners and myself learn more. Stop, Jamie, about our guests. I'll ask a few questions and you guys just pick the one that best fits you. MVP award or team championship?
Team championship.
Championship.
Okay. Peak early or late in your career?
Peak late.
8.
Tell me why.
Longevity.
Yeah, longevity.
Man, that's iconic stuff. When you have you peak late, that just shows that you're superhuman, 8 foot tall and bulletproof for the rest of your life.
Yeah. Peak early, you might not make it to where you're trying to make. Because I know a lot of people peak in high school.
Look, I was a pop star, junior high star, man. Love it.
Well, MJ peaked early and he kept, but he's Superman. So.
Well, now MJ got cut. So
I'm talking about high school. I'm talking about you talking about high school. He got cut.
Yeah.
But you don't think he peaked early at North Carolina?
No.
Nah, because he kept getting better. Like
he got better.
Yeah.
That's what.
By the time he got to he didn't have a jumper like or nothing really. He had to really work on that jumper.
That's true.
In the league.
That's true. Okay, I'll give you that. Play in the rain or snow?
Snow.
Nah, give me
Why?
that rain.
Woman, you said snow for you, Jamie, and why?
Dude, that is, you know what? I would say rain before I had the opportunity to do it myself, or at least practice in it. Mm-hmm. That's a whole different high when you get into the snow, man. You people think it's as cold as it is, but it's really not.
It's not.
Oh my God, it's not as bad. It is beautiful to play in the snow. Give me the snow any day.
What about you, Sid?
Nah, give me that rain. It's according to where it's raining too. Like if it's raining in Notre Dame, yeah, give me the snow. If it's raining in Baton Rouge, give me the rain.
Yeah, I played. Look at me, y'all. Yeah, we played our championship kickball game in the rain.
Yeah.
It was nice. The girls weren't worried about our hair. Stop laughing, Sid. It was great.
Did you slide in the mud?
Slide all the way in the mud. Look,
I didn't
box up. Yeah.
No, but this guy Victor that was on my team, he caught like the winning. The team was about to beat us. They had 3 on the base. 3 bases were loaded. And he caught that ball and he slid in that rain in that mud. It was amazing. But I'm sorry, it's not about me. No. You prefer most skilled player or most intelligent player?
Give me the intelligence.
Yeah, give me the intelligence.
Yeah.
Yeah. Play New Year's Day or Thanksgiving?
I'm on New Year's.
Why?
I want to eat.
Yeah. Yours is just simple.
Yeah.
Jamie, you got to do New Year's because you be making our turkeys for Thanksgiving.
I know, right? I'm busy on Thanksgiving, man. I gotta go New Year's. Huh?
Yeah. These turkeys are amazing, Cedric.
Hey, well, look at this year. I'm coming.
I'm telling you, they are so good. They are. I mean, they're amazing.
We got you.
So what did you say, Jamie? Thanksgiving?
I think I'm gonna have to go New Year's.
Okay.
Yeah. We used to play on Thanksgiving at LSU, and it was never fun. We miss all that.
Can't eat like you want to. Oh.
Nah.
Practice early in the morning or late at night?
Early in the morning.
Morning.
Yeah.
Morning.
Yeah.
You can
Don't
get
make
the
me
best
sit
out of
around
in the morning. Yeah.
Make me sit around dread it all day.
Yeah.
Play with your best friend or beat your rival?
I like beat my rival, man. Hopefully it's my best friend.
Okay, so kind of like an Isaiah Thomas, Magic Johnson thing back in the day.
Yeah.
What about you, Jay? Look how Jameion looking.
Look, I'm
Maybe
still
your
thinking
best
about it.
friend
Like
or beat your rival.
I think I'm gonna have to go beat my rival. Yeah, I think beat my rival.
Okay.
Because look, look, I think because if I'm ever engaged in competition, my brothers are to my left and my right. So and it's us against the world. So I mean, it's always probably gonna be about beating my rival.
Yeah.
Cool. Meet your childhood hero or play against them in their prime.
Oh, meet him. Meet my childhood hero.
I wanted to play against mine.
Why do you want to meet yours, Jameion?
I had the opportunity to meet my childhood hero my sophomore year in college. It was Muhammad Ali in '96 when he was on his way to Atlanta for the Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
And I froze up like a deer in headlights because I was so mystified by this iconic individual that could not believe I was actually getting a chance to meet. And it was one of the most unbelievable moments in my life, and came out of nowhere too. So it was triple as bad. So
I can
and
see
plus,
why
if you had met him in his prime and tried to fight him, he would have beat you. So
and I would have hated him. And I would have hated him.
I'm gonna say I see why you picked meet him.
Yeah, me too.
I
was like, oh, that's why you chose that.
Yeah.
What about you? You said you want to play him in his prime?
Yeah, man. Like my childhood, it was Jerry Rice. Growing up in the stadium, watching them come down and beat Jackson State. Well, Jackson State beat them too, though. But my rookie year with the Jets, before I pulled a hamstring, he was playing in the slot, coming off a knee injury, and I thought if I would have made the team, I would have had a chance to play him. And dude, you talking about like, if I would have showed out on Jerry Rice, you know how I would have came home to Mississippi? Like, dude, what? It's my state now, son. He would have. Hey, and when I say show out, I'm just talking about knock a pass down. He would have probably got it for about 7 touchdowns. But if I would have got one knockdown, son, one PBU,
you would have been a Jackson hero.
Yeah, but like Jerry, I own you for like 2 seconds.
Hilarious. I think his daughter just got married too. Pretty girl. Get paid a lot to be on a bad team, or pay below average to be on an elite team? Did I just?
That's my people in here.
That's a hard one, especially these days. But I think I would like to be paid average on an elite team. Because now that I'm older, I think I realized that I would have given up every dime ever, the potential of any dime to be made, as long as I could have spent one more day with those cats that I loved in that locker room. I mean, and when you got a good team and people you admire, it's priceless. It's priceless. I mean, I'm on a text chat with about 20 of us right now, even today. I mean, and we never lost track of one another, and that type of stuff you can't pay for it.
That's awesome. Say it.
Yeah, I want to be on a winning team, man. I've been on losing teams. I know how that feels. Mm-hmm. So yeah, you can pay me if we're gonna win, and I'm for sure gonna win. Pay my insurance and make sure I got something to eat. let us go out there and win, man.
That's cool. And last one, Coach George or Coach Prime?
Yeah, I'm going with Coach Prime, man.
Man.
Only because he a DB.
Man, I don't know. That's a tough one because because outside of who they were when they played, they're both quality individuals, right? If you ever met Eddie George or even, Dion, outside of the personalities, they're good dudes, right? And to have a conversation with them, is just a moment in time. But I think if I had to choose, and you stuck a gun to my head and put $1 million in front of me and made me choose, I think I'd go Coach Prime.
Well, I met Eddie maybe in 2017 at Donovan McNabb's surprise birthday party, and he was really, really, like you see, he's a a great guy. You know, the whole time we talked about, because I sing, so I was like, where is Taj? Forget you, bruh. I mean, this sports is my second love. Where is your wife? So, I mean, but we had a good time. He's really, really nice. But of course, I'm going with, Prime. That's my coach. And I love Eddie. I love
Look,
him.
I just want to take him back to those Gillette commercials when they hear, I look good.
You know what? They ought to bring it back, because that's his look at saying. Because that's his motto. You look good, you
look good, play good, feel good. That's it.
Yeah. So I mean, I agree. I mean, and
Yep.
those kids, they feeling good, because those uniforms they had on Saturday was fire. Oh, those were nice. I enjoyed those. But guys, I know
and on sport coat.
Oh, I love those. They look they look really nice. I'm very happy for them, because I mean, and their confidence is, said, the last few years, their confidence is like off the Richter scale right now. I mean, they used to look so sad coming to the games, like, dang, we got to do this. So, but they look really good. Well, guys, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for coming on the show. You'll be back next month. I don't know what week we'll be in at that point, but we'll get together. So, but guys, please follow me at She Say Sports on Facebook. She Say Sports 23 on IG, Instagram, at She Say 23 on Twitter. And please subscribe to our YouTube page, She Say Sports. Until next time, this is Sonia with She Say Sports.